Welcome back to another episode of Jamaica Mountain Peaks TMI, where we sit back and spill all the tea. Now today I'm joined by a woman who does it all, and I really don't know how she does it. She saves lives by day and she travels by night and sometimes by day. Her name is Rochelle, and she's gonna share with us all her tips and secrets to just balancing life. So grab a cup of Golden Turmeric Latte, sit back, relax, and enjoy. So Rochelle, welcome to the couch.
Thank you for having me.
So tell me, how do you manage, traveling and balancing life? Because you're a whole doctor girl. So how do you do it? Because I can barely find the time. So tell me.
All right, I think it all boils down to good time management skills, and you have to just prioritize what's important for you. So for me, travel is important, so I make time for it. Meaning that I'm going to use all my paid time off to take a trip. That's generally when I tend to go overseas. And for local adventures, I use my early days at work or holidays or just basically any chance I can. A lot of my local adventures tend to be spontaneous, meaning that I'm going to go to that little river or beach or hidden waterfall, which is close to where I live. So a lot of my local adventures tend to be maybe within a 1 to 2 hour radius. So it's not as difficult as it may sound, it's just making time for what's important.
That makes sense. But what is the key difference? You said you travel both locally and internationally. What's the key difference that you see between traveling, locally and internationally? What are some things that you can highlight?
Well, for one, you cannot have a spontaneous overseas trip. So, you have to book the ticket in advance. You're going to have to determine, which hotel should I stay at if you don't have family in the area. So those trips tend to be a little bit more meticulous in the planning, where I may probably try and find a flight deal maybe a couple of weeks or even months in advance.
Yeah.
So that's one of the key differences. My local trips can just be just jump in at the car and go. That kind of vibe. So that's the biggest difference. And then the other thing too is traveling overseas, you have to look up things like the culture, maybe even the language, because I've been to non-English speaking places. So you have to learn key phrases, make sure you have your Google Translate like in your back pocket. So that's another key difference, just having to be aware of the cultural differences and language differences.
So just really preparation. Preparation is key with international travel. So now let me sip on my Golden Turmeric Latte. So girl, who do you travel with?
I knew we were getting there. Let me take a sip.
Yeah, man, you have to take a sip, It's me sip with you.
So, I'm talking local or international?
You have 2 different ones?
No. Don't get me in a problem. All right, so generally local will be with friends, It's just basically whoever is available when I have the free time.
Yeah.
Because to be fair, there are adventures that I have to miss out on sometimes. My friends may send me a message, hey, we feel to go to this place and I have work.
Yeah, true.
So,
saving lives and all. Nothing big, just saving lives.
It will just depend on who is available for the local trip. So I tend to go out with like friends, sometimes even co-workers.
Cool.
And of course my partner. We do a lot of travel together, because that's one of the things that made us even meet in the first place. And then
so hold on, pause there. So you went on a plane. And you met your boo?
Oh no, not that way. He's Jamaican. But he just happens to have interest in travel.
Okay. So that was the connection.
That was a connection.
Because I was about to book a flight, Just checking.
Never worked that way. But that's like one of the things that we have in common. Now, internationally, because you have to plan, and of course everybody has their responsibilities. We can't all get leave at the same time.
Very true.
Right? Because most of my friends still have traditional jobs. So I tend to travel mostly either with family or with my partner.
Okay, nice. Yeah. What's it like traveling with a boo? Because I've never done like a overseas vacation, and I'm so intrigued.
I can say how it would be stressful, but thankfully
Stressful? That's
it
not
could
what I
be.
was thinking.
No, so for some people,
Oh,
I've heard that.
I was thinking
That's not
stress
been my
relief, baby.
experience. That's not been my experience.
Okay, good.
But the thing is, you just have to make sure that you have things in common in terms of travel interests, right? So in my case, my partner and I share interest in history and art and culture. So he's not bored if I tell him we're going to a museum.
Okay, I
He
get what you're saying.
also likes the outdoors, waterfalls, rivers, that kind of thing. So he doesn't mind when I say, hey, we're going to walk, 1 hour in some bush somewhere.
Yeah.
He doesn't mind that. But for some people, I think if you don't have similar interests, it can be, like a bit of a conflict. So, one person wants to go this place, the other person wants to go that place. And then sometimes you may end up feeling like you don't get to go where you wanted.
Yeah.
But I think if you have open communication and discussion and similar interests help, you should be fine. So for me, it's been fun.
Oh, nice. But then that actually makes sense, because if you're a person who, because like I have friends who, I know that if I go on vacation with some friends, like they just want to sleep. They just want to relax.
No, that's not me.
Yeah.
They're getting up first thing in the morning.
Listen, you're going to experience this.
As they liked.
All right.
Yeah,
Note to self, do not travel with Rochelle, because I'm kind of in between. Like, I don't want to do anything too adventurous. I'm going to jump off a no cliff. I'm going to walk far. So, you know what I mean? So, it's like, but I get what you're saying.
I probably won't be jumping off the cliff, but I'll be going like ziplining and paragliding and parasailing.
You're not jump off a cliff, but you're going to jump with a...
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Adventures with Rochelle. Adventures with Rochelle. So, what's one of your favorite places that you've, traveled to internationally, and why?
All right, so for me, I would say Machu Picchu has been my favorite adventure.
Machu
Picchu.
Where's that?
In Peru.
Peru.
So it's one of the world wonders.
Nice.
Yeah. What's interesting about it for me is just the preservation of history. So Machu Picchu, don't quote me, but it's old.
It's old.
It built I think around the 1400s. So it's it's a really, really old Incan civilization. And it was kind of lost for some centuries. Lost meaning after the whole Spanish Incan war.
Whole thing.
That.
Yeah.
It's like it was just uninhabited for years, centuries, and then it was rediscovered in the early 1900s, and therefore it's very untouched, So think about it like there would have been an interruption in time and it just stood still for centuries.
Okay.
So I think that's what's so cool about it.
Like
so
my single life, it just stays still, just there.
So you literally can see.
I can relate.
You can see where all the farms would have been and where the houses would have been. Everything is just still kind of intact.
Oh, nice.
And then you have llamas and alpacas just running through. So it was amazing. It felt like another world kind of.
So it's like it stepped into a new time period.
So for me, I don't think anything will ever compare to that, because it just felt, and it was in the middle of a valley too. So you get the mist on the hills rolling in, and it was just wonderful.
But Peru, you said so it's in Peru. That's a long flight. So tell me,
Ish.
So tell me about that travel experience, going so far, and then tell me, what are some essentials that you needed to know to travel such a distance?
Right. So first of all, let's point out the fact that Peru is a Spanish-speaking country.
Okay.
I did Spanish in high school. I think a lot of us would have, that kind of rusty over time. So for me, of course, a cell phone would be essential in that I had to make sure I had my Google Translate just ready to use. Because while I could understand some of the language a little, but sometimes being able to reply would have been difficult. So I would say having a fully charged phone and a power bank. So that way, you can get a little extra juice when that battery runs out. That was very essential. And then followed by that, comfortable walking shoes. As I said, if you're going out with me, you're going to walk. So comfortable walking shoes was a must. Those are my essentials.
That for me, personally, so anywhere I go, I always have to have medication and tea. So
Makes
for me,
sense.
I always need, so we call the, Golden Turmeric Latte a hug in a mug, because it relaxes you, it calms you. So I'm like, it's very calming, right?
Good.
So it's no caffeine. So I tend to I always have to walk with teas.
Okay.
I always have to have my medication. But then I'm one of those super paranoid people, because I'm suppose I go to place and can't get Panadol, because me's a Jamaican through and through. So if I can't find Panadol,
So
I kind of
walk with
stress
the
out.
things,
So
yeah.
walk with the things. That's what I think. I think when you're
Yeah.
traveling, you just have to find things that are comfortable for you.
Yeah.
And I can relate with being in a Spanish speaking country, and it's not easy.
Yeah,
it's
it's
not,
not,
easy.
especially when they're talking at full speed.
Yeah, it's not easy at all.
Yeah.
So tell me, what are some of your summer plans? Do you have any summer travel plans or anything?
September still counts as summer, right?
Yeah, girl,
So
whenever you get the deals.
So my birthday is in September.
Okay, period.
So, yeah, so I actually have a trip lined up.
Oh, nice.
So the airline, well, I typically fly with airlines that allow me to like do multi-city
Oh,
trips.
that makes sense.
So so I'll be going through Panama and then to Colombia.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so a whole other Spanish experience.
Yeah.
So you're going to touch 2 cities. That's nice.
Yeah.
So it's a direct flight from Jamaica to Panama.
Yes, it is.
And then from Panama to Colombia.
Right. So I'm
Okay.
going to Medellin.
Oh, okay. Medellin.
Medellin.
Wow, may I learn some words today? Machu Picchu, Medellin.
Yes, girl.
Okay, well, no, that makes a lot of sense. So I have a little game for you to play.
All right.
Right? You ready?
I hope so.
So the game is called Truth or Sip.
All right.
So if you want to spill the tea, with the little Golden Turmeric Latte, you can either, if you want to spill the tea, you talk, and then if you don't, you drink, you take a sip of your Golden Turmeric Latte, and then we know that there's something in something why I don't answer the question. So, the first question. Have you ever stolen something out of anyone's bag while you traveled?
No.
Okay, thank you. I'm not
Nope.
sitting with a kleptomania. That's good.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever missed a flight?
So, all right. I didn't miss it from my fault, if you get what I mean.
Tell me.
All right. So basically, I was flying with this airline once that they moved the flight earlier. So like when you have to land in time to come go and catch your flight, they moved up the flight 2 hours early. So obviously,
okay.
I couldn't catch that flight.
Well, that's not you.
So it's not
yeah.
my fault. It was the airline's fault, and they ended up refunding me. So I don't feel like it was.
It's not like.
Yeah, it doesn't count.
Yeah,
It doesn't count.
I agree. Because it's not like.
It doesn't count. In fact, I never even thought that could happen. Like
I didn't.
usually
Yeah,
flights get delayed, not moved up early. Yeah, not my fault. So.
Okay. So we're getting spicy now, like the pumpkin spice in the Golden Turmeric Latte. So,
Right.
who do you prefer to travel with, solo or with your partner?
Get me
Okay. So, have you ever not declared something to customs?
Not declared something.
So say if you join the green line, the red line,
So if you have something.
you have something to declare and you don't join the line. You
I
just
don't think. I haven't. No.
nothing. Never care about one skull
what
from
extra-
Peru.
Skull, no. No, girl. But like I got extra phone, like
Yeah,
extra
it's
something where you
something.
say your own, but I not really your own.
Yeah. Okay.
Not really cool, right?
Yeah. Well, you talk. So I can't blame you.
Yeah.
I can't blame you.
Yeah.
So I have one more, right? So what
Alright.
do you prefer? Do you prefer to go with a local travel agency or planning the trips yourself?
Definitely planning myself, just
Yeah.
because sometimes you need someone else to plan something for you, and then something don't really work out the way you
Yeah.
want. It's like you feel like you want to blame someone else. I rather take the blame myself and also, it's me, never really like planned this trip.
Yeah.
And not just that, but for me, it's more fun to do it myself. I get to look through, see what each hotel has to offer, look through, all the different excursions. Like for me, the anticipation is part of the whole experience.
Yeah.
So I actually prefer planning myself.
Okay, the last spicy one.
All right.
Last one. So have you ever while traveling, have you ever snuck into somewhere that you're not supposed to? No.
Not something.
You said, nah, get arrested in a no foreign country.
Nah, risk it.
Nah, catch you. That makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. And, I appreciate you coming on. I don't know how you balance this being a doctor and traveling and all of your experiences. And, so tell us where we can follow you and, learn more about you and just experience your travels with you.
All right. So you can find me on Instagram at Adventures from L. I also have a travel blog called adventuresfroml.com. And I would say those are my two most active platforms at this point. Yes.
Okay, nice. Well, thank you so much, and thank you for spilling the tea with us.
Thank you for having me.
So we just spilled all the tea about international travel tips, how you can prepare for that, and how you can balance that in your everyday life. Now, next week, we head into a more serious topic as we talk about mental health. And we know how important that is. So you need to make sure that you tune in as we have a great, fun-filled conversation about something that can impact us all. See you next week.